fill us in on that. Hi there, Marcus. We're starting off with a fresh grilling for Swiss bankers.
We are indeed. Hi there, Catherine. Credit Suisse has been answering accusations that it helped American clients avoid US taxes. Chief Executive Brady Dugan was questioned by senators in Washington, D.C. He blames a small group of 10 to 15 bankers for behaving badly, and he says that senior managers were unaware. Delano D'Souza has more.
Hitting back after a scathing report, the CEO of Credit Suisse has taken on the U.S. Senate. It claims the bank helped over 22,000 American customers dodge U.S. taxes. CEO Brady Dugan shifts the blame to a small group of Swiss bankers.
We have invested enormous efforts to achieve as much clarity as possible about whether and to what extent Credit Suisse employees violated U.S. laws. The investigation identified evidence of violation of bank policy and U.S. laws that were centered on a small group of Swiss-based private bankers.
But the CEO also disputed some of the findings of the report. He says the Senate subcommittee assumed that every Swiss account of a U.S. citizen was hidden from the American government. He further added that the bank has implemented reforms which include the requirement for U.S. customers to prove they're paying taxes, as well as tightening its U.S. travel policy for Swiss-based private bankers. The Senate report says offshore tax practices by Credit Suisse and other financial institutions deprived the United States of $337 billion in potential revenue.
Credit Suisse prospered for years by not requiring its U.S. clients to be tax compliant. While it made some changes to its internal policies, it was slow to ensure sufficient compliance by its U.S. account holders.
The Swiss model of banking has been shaken up after a crackdown by the US and Europe on tax evasion. In 2009, rival bank UBS admitted to helping US taxpayers hide assets. The bank paid $780 million in fines.
Plane maker Airbus is ramping up production of its most popular aircraft, the A320. The announcement was made as Airbus said it made nearly €1.5 billion last year. That's 22% more than during 2012. And Airbus said that strong demand for its passenger planes boosted the bottom line. Airbus has a backlog of around 4,200 A320s, and it wants to hike production to 46 a month from the current 42. The plane maker is developing a newer version of the A320, and Chief Executive Tom Enders says the program is on schedule.
Everything is on track, and we need to be on track because that's a program where we cannot afford any delays or failures. This is our bread and butter business. It will be a complex undertaking to transition from the current 320 to the new 320. And we are planning already to the day the first flight of the 320neo in September this year.
OK, that was Tom Enders speaking there. We're going to take a look at the stock markets next. In the United States, the indices closed higher on Wednesday after a volatile session. A report that showed a strong increase in new US home sales during January helped out shares stateside. That report was seen to boost European shares towards the end of trade, but it wasn't enough to boost the markets into positive territory. There we go. Those are the European figures. And as I say, we saw the US stock markets also trading higher. Now, you saw pictures of it earlier. Shares in US retailer Target were up 7%. It came as the company said sales are recovering after a massive data breach. Hackers stole customer credit card details during the holiday shopping season. The breach was seen to scare off shoppers in the fourth quarter, and Target reported a fall in profits. In other news, Japanese authorities are probing the troubled Bitcoin exchange Mt. Gox. It comes after the website of the Japan-based company went blank on Tuesday. There are fears that Mt. Gox has lost the hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoins it had on its books. The outage also put the spotlight on the credibility of Bitcoin, and the value of the virtual currency has fallen. And the world's biggest brewer hopes the Football World Cup in Brazil will revive beer sales this year. AB InBev reported higher than expected fourth quarter profits earlier. They came in just under $2.4 billion. At the same time, AB InBev said the economic climate was difficult last year and beer sales in terms of volume fell. We saw AB InBev shares trading higher, though, on Wednesday, so it seems as if investors they are liking what they heard there from the beer brewer ahead of the Brazil World Cup. That's the business news for now, and I'm going to send it back to you, Catherine.
Thanks very much, Marcus Carlson there, as ever, with